Hello children, how are you all? I hope you are happy and healthy. Children, as you all know, we are revising active and passive voice. Children, this is very important topic for English grammar, and because of this we can enhance our writing. So children, this is important topic and we have started 2 days back and we have completed present tense, how to convert active to passive voice and passive to active voice in present tense. And we have started yesterday simple past tense. Here we have discussed that how to convert if it is written was were. So we will add was were in the, if the simple past tense is written in active voice in the second form of the verb, then we will convert into active passive voice, that we will use only was and were and then past participle. This was the rule we have discussed. So children, today we will be continuing the same topic. Okay children, so let's start. So children, as we have discussed yesterday and we have started simple present tense, simple past tense, and we have discussed in that how to convert in passive voice. That is only and only we will do was and were plus past participle. Okay, this is the rule to making active to passive voice. Today we are going to start past continuous tense. Past continuous tense. So as we all know, we have already done tenses and we have done this topic, and in this what we are making an active voice or simple past continuous tense, we are using was and were and plus ing in verb. Okay, so if we will write he was going to market. Okay children, if we are writing he was going to market, so here you can see this is active voice. But if we will write in passive voice, so how we will convert? Similarly as we have done in the present continuous tense, the same rule will be followed over here. Only and only what we will change, only was and were will be changed. So the rule of making active to passive voice, was and were will be used plus being plus past participle. This is the rule of making active to passive voice, children. Now here I'll give you the same example. I will write in the passive voice. Children, you can see he was going to market. Okay, here what we will do, or I'll give you next example for this, because now I'm going to write he was driving the car. He was driving the car. He was driving the car very fast when it skidded off the road. It is quite long active voice, but it is, in this example you can see how we will change in passive voice. So here children, you can see he was driving the car. What he was driving? He was driving the car very fast. Adverb is also here we are using. When it skidded off the road. Now here we will use the same rule of passive voice, was, were plus being plus past participle. Now children, what we will write? The car was being, the car was being driven, because the rule is past participle, that is why the car was being driven very fast by him when it skidded off the road. Now children, here you can see what we have changed. We have changed only and only past participle, because here in active voice it is written in ing. So we have changed over here in the past participle. The car was being driven very fast by him when it is skidded off the road. Okay, so it is simple. Now if we will give you next example, so how we can convert into passive voice if it is written in past continuous tense, active voice, so how we will change? So children, I am giving you next example. The audience was laughing at the clown. Okay children, this is active voice. Here you can see was is there and ing is used, so this is active voice in past continuous tense. Now how we will change according to the rule? Okay, so what we will write? The clown was being laughed by the audience. Simple. Here you can see children, what we have changed? We have changed only and only being, we have written over here because of this rule. While changing passive voice, past continuous tense, what we will use? Was, were plus being plus past participle. Now here the clown was being laughed by the audience. Okay, is that clear? Now one more example I will give you, that is she was supporting the villagers during the discussion. Okay, now here what we will change? Only and only we will write being, the villagers were supported by her, the villagers were being supported by her during the discussion. So children, what we have changed over here? Only and only the villagers, because the villagers, it is in the plural. That is why we have used over here. Here it is written she was because of the subject, because here you can see subject become object, object become subject. Now because of this I have changed only over here, you can see the villagers were being supported by her during the discussion. Okay children, So this is next example for you. Pay attention because it is similarly as we have done in the present continuous. There we have used is MR plus being plus past participle. Here we are using was, were plus being plus past participle. No changes, children. So be very cautious about this, because if you understood what is past tense, what is present tense, so it is quite simple for you. If you are not understanding, you are not able to differentiate between the past and present tense, so the problem will be there. So children, first, before solving these exercises on the basis of that, you should go through the rule of the past and the present tense, then you can able to solve this exercise. So children, I'll give you one more example for that, past continuous tense, because the rule must be clear. That is why I am giving you examples. Now our next example is, the teacher was demonstrating an experiment. Okay. Now here you can see the teacher was demonstrating an experiment. It means the teacher is singular, and was here we are using, and demonstrating because this is in the past continuous tense, and an experiment. Now here what we will do, the object becomes subject over here, an experiment was being demonstrated by the teacher. Okay. Now here children, you can see the experiment was being demonstrated by the teacher. Okay. Is that clear to you? This past continuous tense is clear to you, I hope. So we have discussed many examples. That is why I think it is clear. Now we are moving to the past perfect. Next topic is past perfect. So children, what is past perfect? What is past perfect, children? Past perfect, it means we are very much confirmed that work was completed. So that is why we are confirmed about that. That is why we are using past perfect. So past perfect, first I will write the sentence in past perfect tense. Here we have to use had plus third form of the verb. Okay. It means, if I'll give you one example, she had completed her work. Okay. Now here you can see had it is used and completed third form of the verb used. So this is called past perfect. And if we will tell you, this will written in the active voice like this. Okay. Now what is the rule of changing active to passive voice in past perfect tense? That I am going to write on the board. That is, only and only we will do passive voice. Passive. In passive we have to write had plus been plus past participle. Okay children? Had plus been plus past participle. Children, write it down because this rule we have discussed. This is active voice rule. It means had plus third form of the verb or past participle. Now in passive voice, had plus been plus past participle we are using. Okay children? Now I am going to give you example. My uncle had sold the house last year. Okay, this is written in active voice. Now what we will change here? The house, what we will use? Only had. This is singular, but because this is in the past perfect tense, so we are not going to change in the auxiliary verb. So that is why we will use had, and then what is there? Been we will use. The house had been sold by my uncle last year. Okay, what we have changed over here children? Only and only been we have used, and sold is there. Okay, and my uncle and last year. Simple. So according to the rule, we have only and only change had been. Okay, had been. We have written sold. Here you can see, because in past perfect tense actually is simple. Because third form we are using in the active voice also. Had we are using, only had we are using in the active voice also. So it is quite simple for you. Only and only you have to add been. That's it. And zigzag formula we will follow as we are following in the active and passive voice in all the tenses. So same thing we will following. Now I will give you one more example. Had you boiled all the vegetable? Had you boiled all the vegetable? Because this is question. Okay? Because this is question in past perfect tense, that is why had is written over here, and then had you boiled all the vegetables. So children, what we will do in converting passive voice, had all the vegetables been boiled by you. Okay, had all the vegetable been by you. Question mark will be remain same. Now what we have done? We have only and only had will replace over here, and because this is object, so obviously we have to write first. Because we have to make interrogative sentences, that is why we are not going to change any changes over here, because we have to start had with had. So that is why had all the vegetables, been. Then after object, what we have used? After object, been must be placed. Okay? And then boiled will remain same because third form of the verb, and then by, because by we have to use in passive voice, by you, and question mark will remain same. Okay children, one more example I will give you for past perfect tense, that is the woodcutter, or you can say father had advised me, father had advised me to carry a torch as it was dark outside. As it was dark outside. Now children, here you can see father had advised me to carry a torch as it was dark outside. Simple. Only what we are going to change? We just write it down. Subject. Subject, because this in passive voice, object becomes subject. That is why what we will change? Only and only we will write, okay, I had been advised by father to carry a torch as it was dark outside. Simple. No complication, children. This is so simple. We have what we have done. Father had advised me to carry a torch as it was dark outside. Simple. I had been, because in place of me we have changed I. Okay. So possessive pronoun will change into I. Okay. First person. I had been advised by father to carry a torch as it was dark outside, children. So this is simple. I don't think you get any confusion regarding this. So this is simple. Okay. We have discussed over here one question also, how to convert question. So in a passive voice, so had will place at the first, and then what we have done? You boiled all the vegetables. All rule will remain same, only we just place had over there, and after the subject you will write been and then other object, and then after that question mark will be placed. And here what we have done? Father had advised me to carry a torch as it was dark outside. It is simple. Now we have replaced, in place of me, I have started the sentences in passive voice. I had been advised by father to carry a torch as it was dark outside. So it is simple, children. Okay. So I hope it is clear to you, children. If it is not clear, I will give you one more example for that, because sometimes we do not know how to place been, where to place been. Okay. So one more example I am giving you. I had polished the shoes at night. Okay. I had polished the shoes at night. Okay. I had polished the shoes at night. Now here you can, how can we write? I had polished. So the shoes, because this is an object, what I have polished? I have polished the shoes. So the shoes had been polished by me at, adverb will come, adverb of time will come, at night. At the end of the sentence we will write adverb of time. Now the shoes had been polished by me at night. Simple? Clear? Okay, children? Now we are moving to the next topic. I hope it is clear. Past perfect tense. Now we are moving in the future, because in past perfect continuous tense passive voice is not, we are not supposed to make. Okay, children? So that is why I am going to start simple future tense. How to make active to passive voice. Okay. Before that, we have to revise past tense first, then we will start future tense. Okay. So this is simple future tense. First we will discuss simple future tense. Before starting this, we have to revise how to convert active to passive voice in simple past tense. Only and only was verb will be used in passive voice in simple past tense, and plus third form of the verb, or you can say past participle. As we have discussed in past continuous tense, what we have discussed in passive voice, what we will use? Was and were plus being plus past participle. And in perfect tense, past perfect tense, what we have used in passive voice? In passive voice, we have used had been plus past participle. Only this. These three rules, remember this, as we have discussed in the present, simple present tense, present continuous tense and present perfect tense. Similarly, we have already discussed that past tense. Okay. Now, we are going to start simple future tense. What do you mean by future tense? It means very simple, which denotes tomorrow. That is called future tense. We don't know about that, but it will come tomorrow. Okay. Now future tense, what we are using? Will and shall, and first form of the verb. Simple. Okay. So will and shall we are using, and what we are using? First form, or you can say root form of the verb. Root form of the verb, children. This is the rule of making simple future tense. Okay. I'll give you one example. Ram will go to the market. Okay. So this is future tense. Ram will go to the market. It means he will go in the future. That is why it is written Ram will go to the market. Now, what is the rule of making active voice? Similarly, as we have done, will, shall plus first form of the verb. This is the rule of making active voice. This will be followed in the active voice. Similarly, we are using in the simple future tense. Same thing will be followed in the active voice. Now, what is the rule of making passive voice? So children, passive voice we are going to learn. How we will use passive voice in this? So children, shall be or will be. Okay, shall be and will be. And as we are doing past participle in all the passive voice, similarly we are going to use in here also. Plus past participle. So children, write it down. This is very important. When you are learning grammar, you have to write all the rules, because we have discussed two tenses, and the rule if we know, so we can solve easily. If you know the structure, how to convert active to passive voice, where we will place subject and object, and what type of preposition we will use, so we will use by or these type of the thing we will be using. So children, this is very important. While understanding this concept of grammar, you should write in the diary all the rules, because when exam will come, you can revise it thoroughly, and no need to turn your pages of grammar book. So if you have written in the separate copy or separate diary, so it will be quite easy to you to revision. Okay children, so here what we are using? Passive voice, shall be and will be plus past participle. This is the rule about making simple present tense into passive voice. Okay children, now I will give you one example. I shall make sandwiches in the evening children. Okay, this is simple future tense. I shall make sandwiches in the evening. Okay, now here you can see sandwich is a subject in the passive voice. So what we will do? Sandwiches because shall is used over here, so we will use shall be made. Why made? Because here you can see past participle we are using. That is why we had converted into make to made. Okay, so sandwiches shall be made by what you will write? By me in the evening. Simple? Any confusion children? No, I don't think. I shall make sandwiches in the evening. Here you can see sandwiches become subject over here. Sandwiches shall be made by me in the evening. Simple children? Okay. So children, I hope it is clear. We will be continuing the same topic in our next video also. Future tense, because 2 points are remaining in this. So we will discuss in our next video also. So children, revise this, whatever we have learned, present tense, past tense, how to convert active to passive voice, revise it again and again, solve the exercises which are given in your book, and after that you can confirm that you have learned this. Okay, so practice it on that. And few points are remaining in this future tense, so we will discuss in our next video. So children, till then, bye bye and take care.